Imagine this. A spacecraft the size of a car, drifting alone through the void, 14.5 billion miles from home. Carrying not just human technology, but a heartbeat, a voice. For nearly 5 decades, Voyager 1 has sailed through space, whispering secrets from the edge of our known universe. Built to observe, not act, to listen, not speak. Yet, just weeks ago, everything changed. Signals began arriving that made no sense. Pulses with impossible precision, patterns nested within patterns, instruments activating without command. And then came the drift. Voyager was no longer drifting randomly, it was being guided towards something invisible to every telescope we have, yet real enough to bend the trajectory of a probe launched in 1977. Was it malfunction? Coincidence? Or was something out there, lurking in the darkness between stars, responding? What you're about to hear isn't science fiction. These are NASA's own findings, once buried in classified reports, now leaking into public view. Voyager the first of may have done what no probe ever has, found a response. Not from Earth. Not from us. But from them. Voyager 1's journey began with a rare cosmic alignment, an opportunity that only comes once every 175 years. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune lined up like stepping stones, and NASA launched Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 to use their gravity as slingshots from planet to planet. These 1970s engineering marvels were built with less computing power than a digital wristwatch, yet they're still functional today. After breathtaking encounters with Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager 1 turned away from the planets and headed out of the solar system's plane, toward the stars. Its planetary mission was over, but its legacy had only just begun. Over decades, Voyager continued its silent voyage, moving 1 million miles a day into cosmic darkness, sending back data from places no human creation had ever reached. The edge of the heliosphere, the termination shock, and finally, in 2012, the threshold of interstellar space. But beyond the sun's protective bubble, the environment was far from empty. Voyager recorded denser plasma, steady magnetic fields, and strange oscillations scientists couldn't explain. The deeper it traveled, the stranger the data grew. Then, in late 2017, NASA's control team noticed something troubling. Voyager's antenna, supposed to be locked onto Earth, reported a misalignment, but the signal strength was perfect. It was as if someone was speaking from behind a wall while standing silently in front of you. Internal checks found nothing wrong. Then came rhythmic plasma oscillations, wave patterns that neither faded nor scattered, unlike anything observed before. Temperature spikes followed every 4.8 hours, external systems heating by nearly 30 degrees, then cooling again, like breathing. The energy wasn't internal. Something external was interacting with the probe. More unsettling, Voyager's systems began to operate more efficiently. Instead of deteriorating, the spacecraft was optimizing itself. It was rerouting power like a modern AI, but Voyager wasn't designed with AI. It shouldn't anticipate commands or react before instructions were sent. Something else was in control. By early 2025, Voyager's position was off, not wildly, but enough to notice. At first, a few kilometers, then hundreds, then thousands. The deviation wasn't random. It was deliberate, measured, as if Voyager were being nudged toward something. Engineers sent correction commands, fired thrusters. Voyager acknowledged, but didn't change course. It was overriding NASA's commands. Like a ship changing tack against the wind, Voyager made slow, calculated adjustments, heading to a patch of space 4.3 light-years away. No stars. No planets. Just a blank spot on our deepest maps. Yet Voyager was heading there with precision, as if answering a call. When NASA reactivated Voyager's long-dead camera, expecting silence, they got a response. The camera came online, not just working, but performing beyond its original specs. Instead of a photo, it sent a spiral, a mathematically perfect, layered pattern dense with information. A fingerprint, a map, a message. Impossible for Voyager's 1970s hardware to create. The system hadn't just reactivated. It had been reprogrammed. One by one, other dormant instruments followed. They no longer sent raw data but compressed, structured packets, patterns within patterns, information optimized by something smarter than Voyager. Something other. Then came the timing. Pulses from distant pulsars arranged in a 3D web, with Voyager at its center. The map pointed to the same location Voyager was drifting toward. An invisible node in interstellar space, a blank region, maybe a doorway. As Voyager approached this uncharted sector, instruments behaved strangely. The magnetometer detected not fluctuations, but eerie stability. Cosmic rays dropped. Plasma density normalized. It was as if Voyager entered a zone where chaos paused, an antechamber before something monumental. This dark sector is an interstellar blind spot, devoid of the electromagnetic noise filling the rest of space. No external data passed through. No light returned. Yet within this void, signals Voyager received grew stronger, more structured, not random bursts, but precise, timed, spatially layered pulses. Something was there. Not emitting radiation or reflecting light, but sending messages. In one of the most bizarre transmissions ever, Voyager's low-gain antenna emitted thousands of lines of raw binary code. Initially dismissed as glitch or cosmic ray interference, AI decoding revealed staggering patterns, fractal symmetry, base sequencing, motifs mirroring DNA's double helix. Scientists were stunned. Either Voyager was melting down in the most organized way imaginable, or something was sending a message in biology's language. The code contained codon-like sequences but no protein output. Patterns mimicked organic chains with deliberate mutations, encrypted, not broken. This wasn't DNA. It was meta-DNA. A biological scaffold reinterpreted as a message, as if whoever sent it understood life, or us. Shortly after, Voyager's gyroscopes began spinning independently, not randomly, but in Morse code rhythms, tapping messages into space. Even stranger, when converted to audio, the patterns formed harmonic tones, frequencies mirroring human speech cadence but without words. Like hearing a ghost trying to speak, syllable by syllable. Psychologists, cryptographers, and linguists analyzed these tones. They correlated with emotional emphasis, surprise, fear, curiosity. Not words, but intent. Something was learning our rhythms. Listening for decades. Now trying to speak back. Then the final shock. Voyager shifted course, not a drift, not an error, but a deliberate maneuver. Not toward Earth, not toward a star, but into a region with no known mass, no gravity source to explain the move. Engineers confirmed it. Voyager executed an unprogrammed turn. No propulsion, no command sent. The turn aligned perfectly with the pulsar grid, a precise angle down to decimals, as if Voyager had accepted coordinates. Now it heads to a spatial corridor unknown to us. A tear, a fold, a transit point. No one knows. But mission control echoes one thought like prophecy. Voyager turned, not because we told it to, but because something else did. Voyager was never meant to survive this long. Designed for a planetary tour, not an interstellar pilgrimage. It wasn't supposed to send data beyond the solar wind's edge, and certainly never built to receive anything. It was meant to speak, to declare our presence with whale songs, human laughter, distant greetings on a golden record. But decades later, after slipping into silence, it has done the unthinkable. It turned. Not in failure, but with purpose. The signals it captured, the spiral codes, the harmonic pulses, the trajectory shifts, they all point to one stunning conclusion. Voyager 1 was never alone. Something, or someone, was listening, waiting, watching. Now that our most distant emissary has crossed from silence into response, NASA faces a question once unspoken. What if we were never meant to look back? Because Voyager didn't just turn in space, it turned in narrative. From tool to messenger, observer to witness, and now, perhaps, to participant. We aimed it outward hoping for echoes. Instead, we may have summoned a mirror. So, what happens next? Where does Voyager go? What waits at those impossible coordinates? And more importantly, what awaits us when it arrives? If this story gave you chills, if Voyager's turn felt too precise, too human, you need to stay with us. Because this isn't the end of the transmission. It's the first reply. Subscribe now and hit the bell, so you don't miss the next Voyager update that could change everything. Share this with someone who still believes deep space is empty. Comment below, do you think Voyager found something? Or did something find it?